Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Well, we know that celebrities are in total meltdown mode over President Trump, especially his recent firing of James Comey. But now we have so many celebrities actually putting their hat in the ring saying, look, hey, if a reality star like Donald Trump can become the president, why not me? So let's kind of look at the spectrum of people who are saying, you know what, I think I might just go ahead and make a run for Congress.
Well, it's interesting because in the past, we've seen maybe one here, one there, you know, Ronald Reagan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, different kind of celebrity entities make their way into politics. But there does seem to be an influx now, and it seems to be becoming more of a mainstay or a consistency. And it'll be interesting to see because we saw a lot of politicians of the left, or excuse me, a lot of celebrities on the left get involved with the election. Just, you know,
join the resistance.
Yeah, the resistance, talking points out there, fake news about Trump. But what we're actually seeing is the people that are running, the celebrities that want to run for office and get in and actually work for the people are actually mostly conservatives, is what I'm seeing so far. So just some of the names. We'll start out with this one. This is a story from the Daily Caller. The actor who spoke at the RNC just declared plans to run for Congress. This is Antonio Sabato Jr. Apparently, he's a soap opera star. I'm not really familiar with his work, but he spoke at the RNC.
My mom and I are big fans.
He endeared himself to conservatives with the speech at the RNC. And now he is going to be running for Congress.
Right. And he actually says that, you know, a lot of actors and celebrities, people in music, entertainment in general, will not come out as Republicans because they say that they get blacklisted from events.
And that's not just
hired. He said that this happened to him once he spoke at the RNC.
And that's not just Hollywood, California. This is in New York. You know, this is in the music industry. It really goes full spectrum in, you know, if you're a publisher and or you're a writer and you write books.
Right.
I mean, it's really all kinds of media that if you're a conservative, you don't want to out yourself to the powers that be because you might not get fair treatment. But Antonio Sabato Jr. is just one of the examples. Before I get to the big names that we'll talk about here in a second, here's another one. You may know this guy from the WWE. Kane is running for mayor of Knox County in Tennessee. Glenn Jacobs is his actual name. Kane would be his stage name. But this is a guy who, he's actually been on the Alex Jones show before, Leanne. This is a guy who's been conservative for a while, spoke about conservative politics for a while, been guest on different shows for a while. I think he's been on Fox News recently too. So he's considering, or he will be running a conservative mayor for Knox County, Tennessee. I would expect him to do pretty well. That's a pretty conservative area, and that's a big name, and he's got a little bit of star power behind him.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened with Jesse Ventura.
You know, and I was going to bring that up. You know, there's one guy. You kind of made me fast forward here, but yes, let's not forget about Jesse Ventura, former wrestler, former wrestling broadcaster as well. Jesse the Body Ventura. I'll tell you, Alex, it's good to see some of my wrestling buddies running for office. So that's just Jesse the Body Ventura.
Former governor, and people really liked him.
And I still like him. I mean, I know he's had different views than Donald Trump and Alex here lately, but I still like Jesse. I think he's a real guy. And I think that that's the most important thing right now, to get real people in politics, even if you don't agree with them.
Opinions, but
yes, as long as you are a real person who's not going to bow down to whatever the money that comes into your pocket wants you to do. Here's another WWE superstar, Rhino. Terrence Guerin is his real name, but Rhino is his stage name. He's going to be running for office in Michigan. Now, he's ran before and lost, but he is going after it again, and he is going to be he's trying to be the state representative for Dearborn, a very politicized area of Michigan.
Well, and this is interesting because I know, speaking just kind of behind the scenes with Billy Corgan, who's a huge fan of wrestling, he got involved with wrestling as well, and we were just kind of talking about how interesting wrestling, like if you can understand wrestling and you see how that plays out, and even some of the terminology that they use inside the ring, it's absolutely politics. If you can understand wrestling, you can understand the chess that's played in politics.
Well, it's funny that we were talking about this earlier, and that actually is true on multiple angles. Not only will you understand it from a standpoint of, okay, like, you know, WWE is fake and they stage all this stuff. Like, yeah, that goes on in politics too. A lot of that is the same thing. They stage stuff, they get narratives rolling, they all kind of go along with the story, they distract you from this, make a big hubbubaloo over here, whatever.
Right.
But the other point too that they
Bust a
do.
chair over your head.
Well, I'll wait for that to happen in the White House. But the other thing that they do too is they actually inject a lot of the current day politics and talking points and debates into their actual show.
Right.
They'll pit one Russian against the U.S. Guy while the whole Russia stuff was going on. That was something they did. That's something they've done for a long time. So I think that, in general, not just your point that, and kind of, and haphazardly saying if you can understand wrestling, you can understand politics. But I do think that what we're seeing here is that there is a heavy element of politics in WWE for whatever reason that is. And they seem to be mostly conservative from what we've seen so far. And let's not forget that Linda McMahon is the Small Business Association chief. This is the wife of McMahon, who started WWE, Vince McMahon, the billionaire who started WWE, and Linda McMahon is the SBA chief. So again, this is a Trump appointee. It's not a secret that Trump and Vince McMahon are friends or that Trump has gone on WWE stages before. But again, another thing pointing to WWE and the people within being conservatives and having some political aspirations here too.
I wish we could give a shout out to the guy who is always making the wrestling videos with all of us, Infowars versus Rachel Maddow. We've got our own
wrestling politics, I think it's called. Wrestling and politics or something. Yeah, I enjoy some of those.
Of that as well.
Only the ones with me, obviously. But let's not forget, too, this was a story on Infowars. Ted Nugent is looking to run for national office. So another guy, another celebrity. You have Kid Rock, who went to the White House. I think he was there with actually Ted Nugent and I forget the woman's name from Alaska right now. It's slipping my head. Sarah Palin. Yes, thank you. So they were all there. Maybe Ted Nugent and Kid Rock are thinking about running for office. But here's the big one. Here's the big one. And I predicted this. I was the first to predict this, okay? Leanne wants me to pull the tape. I'll have to find the tape. Maybe our audience can help me find it. Maybe the guys back here. I was the first to predict this. Oprah Rock 2020. That's the ticket I think that they're going to try to put against Trump. Now, will it be Democrats? Will it be another group? I don't really know. So the guys are showing the story right here. Oprah for president. Leanne, she has this interview, and she's basically saying what you said to start off the segment. Well, I didn't think that I knew enough to be in politics. I didn't have enough experience, but seeing Trump get in and seeing the craze around Trump, that got me thinking maybe I can. So now this is Oprah hinting at a presidential run. Alex has talked about this. Alex was probably the first to talk about Oprah becoming, considering running for president. I took that a step further. I think it's going to be an Oprah and Rock ticket. But
well, if you look at the GQ article that they wrote about The Rock, I mean, it is just like salivating all over. He
has become a media darling.
He is a god, and it's just like how they were writing things for President Obama before he became the president. Barack Obama. It's the same glowing, beautiful prose that they are now using to write about The Rock.
So it's funny because everyone, when I started tweeting this, everyone was like, oh, The Rock is a registered Republican. He won't run. He'd have to run against Trump because, he wouldn't be able to run against Trump if he was Republican. But here's the thing. The Rock has been endeared by CNN lately. He's doing shows on CNN. He's been endeared by BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed. Okay? So that, to me, points that they're trying to liberalize him and run him and Oprah possibly as a liberal ticket. Again, this is my crazy
he's been out there in California,
prediction.
So you don't just hang out there in California and not allow some of those ideas to seep.
But it should be interesting to see, Leanne, if this wave really happens, if The Rock really runs for president with Oprah, it's going to be interesting to see, can celebrity power actually trump, pun fully intended, somebody that knows what they're talking about. Trump just didn't come in as a celebrity. He came in as a successful international billionaire businessman who knows how to work and make great deals. So Trump wasn't just a celebrity, even though they push it that way.
Try to put it like that, yeah.
But hey, no offense to The Rock, but I don't know how much you can know about geopolitics and business when you're pretending to be a wrestler and an actor your whole life. Not insulting The Rock. I like The Rock personally. I'm not sure about his politics. But it'd be interesting to see how America possibly embraces this new wave of celebrities running for office.
Well, and it just goes to underscore how the office of the president really doesn't hold all of the power. They say they really, truly are a puppet. And that's why so many people did really throw their support for President Trump, because he seemed to be above being held as a puppet by these establishments. So we'll see. Remains to be seen. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning into the show tonight, and we will see you here again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central.
The reason Infowars Life has 5-star ratings on major third-party sites is because I want products I'm going to use for my family. I take this, my family takes this, and then it funds the operation with the most hardcore, truthful information you're going to find anywhere. So what you find in our news is the same thing you find in our products at InfowarsLife.com.
If I ever forget to take them, I have a noticeable difference. I don't feel good. The nascent iodine is one of the ones that was life-changing for me.
Yeah, I actually have just run out of my super female. I had a few bottles at my house, and I've been taking it again, hitting the gym once again. Very exciting, feeling great, looking good. So, and I know my hair is luxurious once again. So obviously the super female is amazing. I love it.
Nascent iodine is essential. Survival Shield X2. If there's one product that I would say is life-changing that I would suggest, it's Nascent iodine Survival Shield X2. It's got a 5-star rating.
It's a win-win. InfowarsLife.com.